Too easy. So here we go. So we got some Redcon Sups questions that be rolling in. And we're going to kind of shoot through what all these things look like. So this is fade out. One of the questions we have today is talking about 1 rep maxes in recovery period. And what if I'm being faithful to the program yet I don't see a giant, tremendous growth and change in my 1 rep max? Well, recovery is going to be a huge part of that. So we'll cover that a little bit more. But if you have a hard time sleeping, and regardless if you have a hard time sleeping, I normally don't have a terrible, yeah, that's it, turn that product. I don't have a hard time falling asleep, but getting solid quality sleep is great as well. So fade out's fantastic for that. I could list all these labels off, but I would encourage you guys to take a look at it if you want to double check it. Google some of this stuff and see it. So it's not only helps you fall asleep, it's good sleep enhancer. Have you taken this? Anybody had this?
I take it every night.
Yeah.
I haven't tried.
I'll figure out when I
You
take
probably
it.
should.
Yeah, I take it every night.
Yeah, I do too as well, right? And I think probably my favorite thing about this is I've taken Ambien and stuff through the military before.
Yeah.
You always wake up groggy, you fall asleep, pretty beat up. But you develop like a desensitivity to Ambien as well. I haven't had a desensitivity to this. Now that being said, the very first night you take this, you're going to fall asleep as though you fell into a coma. And then every night subsequently after that, you're not you don't necessarily feel like a coma, but you continue. You don't have to add dose. There's no extra scoop. You take the same scoop. You kind of just mellow down. You chill out. You fall asleep. You feel great. Anything on that?
No, I love it, and I feel it in my this is gonna seem kind of sciencey, but I generally will feel it 15 minutes later once I know it's hit my system.
Right.
Because I'll feel vasal restriction and constriction, like how my body is reacting to it, knowing it's in there.
Right.
And then I can feel it processing with my protein before I
start doing
supposed
it?
to be down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's got melatonin.
It's got melatonin in it, which has be mellow is kind of the same similar. I don't know if that's where that came from to start with. I doubt it. It's just a good word association, but I always feel like, if you got the stress of the day or whatever it is, in the same way, like if you have a glass of wine or something, you feel like a little chill. It's not quite that sensation because you don't feel loopy, but you do feel that same relax as you're going to sleep. Total War, of course. I'm going to be working out right after that, so I'm prepping so that, this podcast can't be too long today. Double Tap. Have you had this? Jermaine doesn't take many supplements, so he's fun to watch.
I haven't.
Jermaine has some protein, and watch by the end of this on the next one, and now that he's getting this hot education, he's gonna be all in it. Hey, and if you guys, we talked about it a ton before, so we just started carrying Redcon. But in all the years, we attempted to carry supplements one other time, and the truth was the quality and integrity of the products wasn't there enough for us to align ourselves with. And we're super stoked about Redcon. And Jess has been with these guys for a couple of years now, and if they didn't have the quality of products, then we wouldn't do it. Our name is worth too much to us to intermingle with somebody who's got poor performance. And so that being said, for all of these, if you're a tested athlete, military, whatever it is, you can take all this, and they pride themselves on that. So Double Tap is what I normally take whenever I think I got to breathe hard and I'm looking for some pre-workout. How about yourself?
Same. Take it.
Yeah, that's it. So like if I'm going to roll, or normally when I do leg day, even though today I'm breaking the mold with some Total War, I'm not going to be breathing too hard today. Normally on leg day I do Double Tap, and on upper body day, because almost no matter what, your upper body will not make you as winded as your lower body. I do Total War. Mix that up. Big Noise. You want to give some on this? What's this all about?
Nitrous. So it allows the blood to flow easier, opens up. Think of it as opening up your pores, a lot of the transport of the nutrients through your system. I love it. I use it. Same thing.
Yeah, so it's got kind of, the two neat things about Big Noise is you're going to see some that day results, and it helps shuttle nutrients and helps shuttle out toxins, right? So what it's doing is it's increasing your nitrous oxide, at least the response of that, and you're going to get more of a vasodilation, which is going to, in hopes, try to shuttle more nutrients to the muscle and more toxins out. And getting some of the toxins out is going to help diminish some of your soreness, possibly, but getting more nutrients there is going to prevent some of the soreness as well. So, and you're just going to have that sick bicep vein the whole time.
Yeah, as a secondary effect, anecdotally, because I can't base it on science, however, I feel I get less inflamed when I do that.
For sure.
Because the nutrients, a higher amount or a higher percentage of the nutrients get to the muscles I just tore up and destroyed.
That's
and then
it.
when I do the assault bike on the backside, getting those toxins out, I'm basically mitigating some of
For sure.
what I feel like would be. I don't have any science back that, just
Definitely.
20 plus years of categorical.
Sure.
Invisibility,
You know what? And on a fair point, what you got? What you got, man?
No. I was just
Say
I was
something good.
co-signing.
Say something good. What you got?
Nothing.
So two thoughts on that. Inflammation period, as we've talked about before, is what's causing the majority of your soreness, right? So the reason your body's inflaming the blood vessels going to those muscles is in order to get toxins out and increase nutrients there, in order to increase the healing time. So by increasing that on the front end, you're going to do a little less damage systemically, and it's going to help get more nutrients there, so you won't have to inflame as much. And this is just an analogy, so understand it's not the equivalency, but from an analogy standpoint, it's kind of like I get a cut. If I take antibiotics, it helps prevent the infection, and the inflammation, overall inflammation will be less. If I don't take antibiotics, then I probably still am not going to lose my hand, but the inflammation will be much higher because it's having to get more bacteria out than inversely, right? Also, if you've never taken big noise,
You feel it.
probably don't open up with a bunch of wind sprints on your first day, right? So as you acquire somewhat of a tolerance to this vasodilation, you'll probably be okay. But early on, probably try this out on an upper body day before you go straight to doing heavy squats and passing out on the
told you should
platform.
take it today.
Next time.
Next time. Next time. Total War, we just hit that. Apparently, that's how good it is. I grabbed 2 of them. Hey, we're going to probably have these in the gym here shortly, too. Stock them in the machine if you want to grab them. All right, so these next 2 are super dope. They're both anabolic agents. And again, everything that Redcon has is going to synergistically work with what your body has. You're not having to shoot in any kind of exogenous chemical or anything along those lines. So the way Halo works is it's actually a plant steroid, and before the word steroid makes you feel real crazy, realize that cholesterol is the main steroid in your body. So there's lots of things that are steroids we don't think about, but we associate the term anabolic steroids often, and that makes us misunderstand what the concept of something does. So steroid's a signaler, and so this ends up being a signaler for your body to increase nitrogen retention, right? Well, what's nitrogen? So if you imagine this is protein, if I open the protein up and break it down, there's pills inside of here. Those pills are nitrogen, right? So when you eat protein, the building blocks down to that, there's carbon and stuff as well, but nitrogen is one of the things in protein that's not in carbs and fat, and that nitrogen is what your body uses to make more muscle. This increases how much of that nitrogen you can retain. For sure. For sure. Jermaine?
Yeah.
Get on that, because your arms are already so big. We would just want to make it ridiculous at this point.
All right, we'll see about that.
And then the last, before we talk about protein, is 11 Bravo. So the way 11 Bravo works is if you Google mTOR, M-T-O-R, mTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin, is it's trying to figure out the best way to describe this. It has 2 things that it does. It down-regulates muscle protein breakdown, and it increases muscle protein synthesis. So it works. So this helps you hold on to the nitrogen to make more muscle, and this helps tell your body, not from the resource standpoint, but from the signaling standpoint, hey, make more muscle, stop breaking down muscle to build muscle. And by preventing breaking down muscle to build muscle, it's a great way that your body will take time to help break down fat for that energy storage and stuff as well. So this will help you get lean and mean as well. Just did that. MRE light. So here's my official take. So we could have done MRE, and I like Redcon's MRE, but the number of people that can eat MRE compared to MRE light is always limited, because MRE has only 4 grams of carbs in it. I mean, MRE light only has 4 grams of carbs. MRE has, I don't know.
23.
23. There we go. That's what I figured. So if you're trying to lean down, MRE versus MRE light would be a harder supplement for you to have. And assumptively, if you have MRE light, you can always add oats. You can always increase the carbs, but you can't decrease them. So that's why we went with this option over the MRE, because everybody can use this. I use this. Jess uses this. I normally add more carbs than she does, but it gives both of us the flexibility to do what we want there.
Good flavor, too.
And it does. These things taste delicious.
So to go with that, the reason why I use MRE is exactly that. So 4 scoops is like 46 or 49 grams of protein and 72 or 75 grams of carbs.
For sure.
So what I use 3 scoops of it, 35 grams of protein and 55 carbs afterwards.
Right.
And that's that's my post shake done right there. A little bit of dextrose.
For sure.
We're in the bank.
Yep.
For the rest of the stuff, like if I'm just doing a catch-up meal or I didn't get to make a meal, I have a meeting or something, then MRE light all day because same thing, it's low on carbs.
Right.
And then I can use whatever carbs I need to make that macro profile what I want it to be.
Yeah, for
While
sure.
still using animal protein to do it by its way. So.